Hey, Steeler Nation. Welcome back to Ask Makenzie. I hope everybody has had an incredible week so far. So much is happening now. Steelers are in OTAs, and there is so much to talk about. I'm so happy to be here every week with you guys. Thank you so much for being here with me. Wow, where do I begin? Well, first, I'm going to start by saying hello to everybody. Hello, George. How are you doing today? He says, hey, Jair. Hello, Steelers fan. Thank you so much for tuning in. And Jair Devil, hello, buddy. Thank you so much for being here. How is everybody's week going? Do we like the news that we've seen from the Pittsburgh Steelers so far? Because I know that I just keep getting happier and happier and happier. Let's go back to maybe yesterday when OTAs began, and we heard Kenny Pickett talking about the offense and how he thinks that the offense is already so much better than we were last season. So, you guys, think about last season, where we were during OTAs, just in general, who the people that we had on our team. And think about who we have now. All of the guys that we picked up in the offseason. We picked up some dogs in the offseason. And just sitting here thinking about it, looking at it, who we have and everything, I can't help but be so excited. So on the offensive side, we got Broderick Jones. We got wide receiver Hakeem Butler, which is super, super fun. Isaac Seumalo, who is a dog that the Eagles said that they are super excited. No, the Eagles said that they are super bummed that they left. The Steelers are super excited that we got him. The Steelers said, I don't know if you guys heard, but when Isaac Seumalo chose the Pittsburgh Steelers, he said that this is the team that checked off pretty much everything on his list. And when a player enters free agency, it's very hard to get things off their list, check off their list that they love. And the fact that we did that for Isaac Seumalo, I think that's super sick. We got Allen Robinson on our offense now to look forward to. So, you guys, we got Nate Herbig too. Nate Herbig is another one to look at. We look at the offense as a whole. We look at the guys that we have now, right? We actually have a fence to build for Kenny. We are actually starting to build a picket fence. And this is super, super encouraging, you guys. I don't know about you, but to me, just knowing that the little pieces that we know that we needed to have are coming together, it looks super encouraging. Hello, Pittsburgh Toddy. Thank you so much for being here. Melting in Tucson. Oh my goodness. Is it really that hot? Because, in Los Angeles, it is cloudy and chilly still. So more power to you. But let's continue on with the offense. We added Darnell Washington, as Steelers fan would like to say. Darnell Washington, a 6'7" dog. Holy cannoli. I saw some videos, you guys, from camp. We had seen some action from the guys from the media who was at camp. And I don't know if you guys saw any of this, but I saw our receivers and our tight end. I saw Darnell. I'm not sure who else I saw, but I saw these guys. Their energy is flowing, y'all. Their energy is flowing. Are we going to see a completely different offense next season? Because I will say, Kenny Pickett mentioned that there already has been an expansion of their playbook. Do you hear that, you guys? They've already expanded their playbook. Kenny Pickett said that they are working really, 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 really hard. That when the offense hits the field come September, you are going to see something that you have never seen before. Okay? You are going to see a different offense, a different Kenny. Kenny just gained 13 pounds of pure muscle. He's ready to take the hits if needed, but we're going to hope that our O-line is going to protect him so he won't have to risk getting concussed again like he has last season. Crazy. Kenny said that he went back and he watched last year's first OTAs, and it is a completely different team. Like, completely. Not just by the players, but in terms of the plays. He says plays, which means they've probably done a little bit of work in that playbook, right? So let me get to this comment real quick. Cool day in SoCal. It is cool day in SoCal, and I don't get it, you guys. It's weird. It was cloudy earlier. I think the clouds are like a little overcast right now. I see a little bit of blue, but such is life. We got to go on. Calvin Austin is another one that's looking healthy. I keep forgetting that he has Juju's number now. Seeing number 19. That is who else I saw. Calvin Austin, he looked pretty good. He looked very active. He looked super mobile when he had the ball, when he was doing the drills and he was juking around. I'm excited to see that guy next season. Calvin Austin, what do you guys think? Are you excited to see Calvin Austin? Because Calvin Austin is a dog that we have not seen, but he is a dog. Let's go to some comments. Old Grizz. Hi, Old Grizz. Thank you so much for being here. Super, super excited to have you back here. Old Grizz says, I think the O-line will give him time to throw the ball down the field. This will open up the run game as well. Love it. Love to see it right here. So if you think about it, excuse me, if we give Kenny more time, okay, to aim for his receivers, the O-line does their job, we could significantly have more yards next season, more touchdowns next season, more opportunities for our offense to be open and get down the field. So this is big. This is something to think about. All of the men that we've had come so far the past few years on our own line, it just hasn't worked out. But now we have Isaac Seumalo leading the pack. I think that's going to be cool. Leading that Pickett line with Isaac, right? Pittsburgh Toddy says Calvin Austin has unbelievable speed. His build kind of worries me. Why? Because he's tiny. He's a tiny man, right? Tiny, skinny, more likely to get injured, maybe. And then Kenny did change his helmet to prevent concussions next season. So if Kenny is taking all the protocols to make himself overall better next season, this is good because our leader is going to be leading us. Exactly what we need. Hello, Ragu. Thank you so much for coming and tuning in. What have you liked so far this week from all the Steelers news that we've gotten? Because we've seen a lot of little things happening still. We just picked up, what is it, Marcus Holden? Golden. It's Golden. Marcus Golden. We are signing linebacker, edge rusher, Marcus Golden to a 1-year deal. Now, you guys, I don't know how much you read about him. Did you guys read up on him? Did you guys get to see anything about Marcus Golden? Jared Neville says it's not about the size. It's how you use it. He could use his size to an advantage next season. Who knows? George says, what's up, Ragu? He said new coach wasn't done getting talent. Oh, so you think that the talent is still coming. Talent is still coming. Well, I think so too. So let's go into the talent that's still coming. Marcus Golden, overall in his career, he has 47 sacks, 11 forced fumbles, and 62 tackles for loss. He has 130 quarterback hits. But last season, it wasn't that great for him. So, do we judge him? Are we saying last season defines him? No. I'm going to look at his overall progress as a player in the NFL. So, Tomlin brought him in, obviously for a reason. They see something in him. They see him as a depth piece. Depth. Something that we talk about all the time. depth. Having depth is what we're trying to build right now in this offseason. So when players get injured, and I hate to say it, I hate every time I have to say this, but someone is going to get injured. It is just as simple as that. And I hate that I don't know who it's going to be, and we don't know who it's going to be. We just have to sit back and watch everything take place. And it sucks. But once we add that depth, we can feel a little bit better when that person does get injured. And hopefully it won't happen early on, because the guys are still getting in the swing of things. It's not going to be pretty by week 1, I guarantee, but at least we have a chance to win. And as long as we have a chance to win, that's all I care about. So you wonder if they'll pick up an inside linebacker now. That could leave room for, do you think we could pick up one more guy in this offseason on the inside? I don't know. What do you guys think? Who else do you think that the Steelers could pick up this season? Who else do you think that you could see coming in, being an inside linebacker? I don't know. But what do you guys think about this signing? Do you like this? Linebacker seems like a position they are still looking to fill. Obviously, you're not going to throw someone like, goodness gracious, Nick Herbig into the mesh right away, right? Like a lot of these rookies that are coming in, they're going to have to earn their spots. And speaking of earning their spots, back on the offensive side of the ball, with Dan Moore now seeing Broderick Jones as somewhat of a threat, seeing how big of a dog Broderick Jones is, do you think this is going to make Dan Moore a little bit more hungry for his position next season? Because no one's position is safe. No one's. And that is something that a lot of these veterans have to think about with all of this new talent coming in. But yes, at the end of the day, we are getting the depth that we need. And I love it. I love the fact that we are getting depth. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that we're getting the depth that we need? Let's see what Jared Devil thinks. Jared Devil says, I like how much depth there is. It's in the majority of positions. The amount of competition will bring out the best in this team. I think we had Patrick Peterson talking about Levi Wallace and hitting right now at OTAs. This defense could be dangerous. Very, very dangerous to other teams next season, which is very, very exciting for me to hear. Did I see the Bleacher Report article about the top 5 edge rushers and TJ Watt being left out? Yeah, I did see that. SMH, do better. Actually, you know what? No, they won't. They don't know how to, because all they know how to do is talk crap about Pittsburgh Steelers. So you know what? Let them talk crap. Let the haters keep talking crap. I love it. Let's just take it all in. That way we can prove it to them come day 1, game 1, when we play the 49ers. Holy cow, we play the 49ers. First game of the season. What are we going to do? How are we going to do? What's it going to look like? Well, I know that we're going to have the best team that we've had in years on the field, so that is where I am at. Leaving it optimistic because we have the best team we've had in years. But good Lord, our defense really is going to need to prepare for Deebo Samuel and Christian McCaffrey. I'm a little... You guys, that 49ers team is pretty intense. Sitting here thinking about that right now is getting me a little bit of nerves. But what do you guys think? I want to hear what you guys think. Let me know. Moats and Kazora are both high on Golden. I trust them more than Joe Rocky. You guys know that I met Arthur Moats. Fun fact, when I was living in Pennsylvania. Story time. Who wants to hear the story about when I met Arthur Moats? It's a good one, I promise. So I was living in State College. That's where my family lives. My parents live in State College, Pennsylvania. and I was working at a golf course. So, oh, thanks, George. George says, I do. Okay, so here we go. I was working at a golf course, and we had our, I don't remember the name of it, but it was alumni, Penn State alumni, and football players from all over that had contributed to, I think, Penn State as a whole, and just being around the community. Not that he went to Penn State by any means, but he came to support the charity. So where I'm going with this is first time that I see Arthur Moats. The first time I see Arthur Moats, I see a man with a smile on his face, and all I do is just wave at him and smile. And by the end of the day, he's super chill, super cool, super nice, gets a picture with me and my buddy Jordan from the golf course. And he's just the most pleasant guy to be around. Always smiling. I don't know how that guy is so happy all the time. He is just the happiest person, and it was so nice to meet him. He was really, really, really cool dude. So I trust what he says. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? What do you think? What do you think? Do you like Arthur Moats and his words? Because I think he's great. So Steelers fan says, PFF says the Steelers are a year away because the young guys still have to grow. Everybody's growing. There are so many new guys. People are coming in every single day, always having to prove themselves. So, yeah, the young guys are going to be growing. Everybody's going to be growing. Kenny's still growing. But as long as they are doing their best and playing at their best, then that's all I really care about. You know? I mean, I think old Grizz says it right here. I've not been this excited about a Steelers team in such a long time. They have the balance of the youth and experience and depth and attitude. I love it. He says it right here. This year is the year that we need to be most excited about. We need to get everybody going. We really do. Because it's just one of those things where if we can just keep on boosting the confidence, showing everybody, we are going to have a great season. The players feel it. They feel it from the coaches. It's a whole around collected effort. We don't want to be like the Jaguars who had clowns in the stands throwing stuff at them at the end of their season. It was really bad. Not this season, but last season when it was just a clown show down there. So y'all know what I'm saying, right? Moats is vocal in his support of research. Does that mean that just by looking up the guys and what they do and their background and all of that, is that what he means by that? Because he's eating his veggies? That's really funny. I wonder what you mean by that. That's really funny. I'm supposed to have a guest join today, actually. I forgot to mention that earlier. So I would like to bring onto the stage one of my fellow coworkers over at Steeler Nation. You guys know I do that daily show now. But my friend Caleb, I'm just going to bring him up on the stage. What's up, Caleb? Thank you so much for joining. Welcome, Caleb, from SteelerNation.com and from his podcast with Derwin Gray, the Sick Podcast. What's up, Caleb?
Hold on, it's the 3 Point Stance podcast. But what's up, Killer Mac?
My bad, dude. That's the 3 Point Stance. I just promoted a different podcast. What's for them? And it's 3 Point Stance. How are you today?
I'm good. We just actually got wrapped up recording our latest episode. It's fun. We've had big news today. I'm not sure what you've talked about in the last 20 minutes, but we got that guy Marcus Golden.
Yeah, so we were just kind of talking about him. We were talking a little bit about his not progress, but kind of just overall what he's done so far. And then we talked about his stats, talked about last season, not the best. What can you tell us about Marcus and kind of maybe what he will bring to the team and how we can't exactly judge his what he did last season, right? We can't judge anybody based off of last season. If you've been in the NFL for a long time, you have years and years of stats to go off of.
Yeah, and that's Dee and I kind of covered that in our recording for tomorrow's episode. He's a quality guy for a third pass rusher that we're expecting him to be. He's had his career sack numbers are 47. Last year he was top 10, and I can't remember what the name of the stat was, but as far as his run game, like whenever the run block, all his tackles in the run game, he's a top 10 guy in that category percentage wise. So I mean we're getting a guy. His numbers weren't quite there last year, but he's had years of double-digit sack numbers, and I'm excited to see what he brings to the table. We wanted Bud Dupree, we got Marcus Golden, which is a good second place prize in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. And we were all kind of thinking about, I know we were speculating for a while, like who else we were gonna get at that position, right? We didn't know. It could have, what was it, Kyle Van Noy? Was that who else we were looking at? Was it Kyle Van Noy? Who else?
I don't know if the Steelers ever actually looked at him. It was more of just like it felt like the rumors, and like PFF was putting that out there. Which, granted, Kyle Van Noy's a freak athlete and a very smart player. So I think, and I want to say he's more of a. If we brought him in, he'd be more of a middle linebacker.
Right. Wasn't tall, and he played middle in and out at some point in his career. But but no, I like this. And it makes me happy to see that we continue to add depth where it's needed, right?
Yeah.
I kind of want to go back and touch on this. I didn't talk about this yet, but Alex Highsmith is due for a new contract, right?
Yep.
And a big thing is Alex is very, very valuable to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he knows that now. He knows that he's going to need a good contract, right? So now his agents are in the works of finding a new contract for him. But I was reading, can the Pittsburgh Steelers afford to spend $40 million on that one position? What do you think about that?
I think, he's put up the numbers to be that guy, to get that money. Exactly. I think, and he showed his worth when TJ was out. He was productive. Granted, we were in that transitional period last year between, going from Mitch to Kenny.
Yeah.
Which I still think we should have started Kenny week 1. I know you agree.
Yep.
But
oh yeah.
But he's shown his worth. I want him to stay. I'm a big fan of his. Actually, you can see right there. I think I won that from TSE Shop. That's a signed Alex Highsmith jersey. So I'm a big fan.
On Alex Highsmith.
I'm a big fan of him. He's from North Carolina. I lived there for 12 years. I like seeing those underdog types where he came from a small school and he's just built his way up to where he is now. And he said it in his minicamp press conference or OTA press conference yesterday, I believe, where like, no, I'm not done. I can do so much better than what I did last year. And he had 14.5 sacks last year without TJ for a portion of the season.
Yeah. And that's when we talk about depth, this is what we're talking about. When man 1 goes down, we need man 2 to come and do exactly what man 1 is doing. And we talk about that in every position. I talked about that about the quarterback position, comparing it to the 49ers literally setting the standard of what it means to have QB1, QB2, and QB3 on their roster. I think what they did is how NFL teams should look moving forward into preparing their quarterback room, right?
Yeah.
Why not do that for every single position? It's a matter of finding the guys that are willing to sit back and take that second string, third string position. What do you think?
Hang on one second. My computer just did something weird.
You're okay.
All the screens are green.
Oh,
I
no.
might have to switch browsers.
You're okay. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna get to some comments real quick. So, Pittsburgh Toddy, you guys are talking about Arthur Moats and his research and his vocal support of research. You're talking about marijuana. Is that what you're saying in regards to the players? Are you talking about? Do you mean that in regards to his research with players in marijuana? Because I know that's a big topic of conversation that a lot of people are asking about. Is this really something that we need to worry about with our players? No, I don't think so. But I'm curious if that's what you mean by that. So Randy says the Steelers are set up for success this season. Absolutely. They are set up for loads of success just because we have a completely different team than we had last season. So that's all straight for me. And I really like what you said about Patrick Peterson. Patrick Peterson seems to always have been a Steeler. He's got Pittsburgh in him. When you say this, right, when we think about what makes someone a Pittsburgh Steeler, right, what makes someone a Pittsburgh Steeler? I think what makes someone a Pittsburgh Steeler is the passion for the city, the grit, the ability to bear down and become a dog when needed. I think Patrick Peterson embodies all of that. And it's really good to see somebody, a veteran in the NFL, come into your team and take complete ownership of what the team is and really buy in, because that makes you even more valuable to the team, not just as a player, but as a leader, because we all know Patrick Peterson needs to be a leader for all of the young folks that are coming in. We need to see this come together, and I really think we will. We really will. And Pittsburgh Toddy says, Coach Tomlin has always wanted Pat. He's always wanted him, and now we've got him. So I just think that everything is really coming together. And Randy says it goes back to his cousin B-Mac. Incredible. Yes, this is exactly what we're talking about. Peterson is a nice mentor for all of these young bucks. Corey Trice, Joey Porter Jr. He's going to have some work cut out for him, but I think it's going to be good. I really think it'll be good. Old Grizz says, I think they'll figure out how to keep Alec Highsmith because TJ is so often injured. But I just think in general, Alec Highsmith is becoming a very, very valuable player to our team. Like, very valuable. Oh, no. Am I starting to cut out? It seems like I'm starting to cut out. I think I'm just going to have to close some of my browsers right now. Sorry, guys. Hold on 1 second. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? All right. Is everything better now? Can you hear me better? Is it flowing better? My computer's still being weird. It might be being weird. Who knows? Good day, Mark. Good day, mate. How you doing down in the down under? How did that one sound, Mark? Let me know. You guys, I've been testing out my Australian accent every time I see Mark, because I'm constantly surrounded by Australian in Los Angeles. It's great. I love it. It's super great. I love it. Let's see. Everyone says, good day, Mark. Good day, Mark. Hey, Aussie bloke. Is that how you say it? Jared Devil says, Mark. Hello, Mark. Good day, Mark. Michael O'Malley. Hello, Michael. Welcome to the stream. What's up, you guys? It's been a while. George, it's been my busy time of year. Everyone wants their pool ready for summer. Michael, do you do pools? Do you work on pools? Where are you from, Michael? Where are all you from right now? I wanna get another account of where everyone is tuning in from. Where y'all coming from? I'm in Los Angeles. Not with this country accent. How about I'm in Los Angeles? Where is everybody from? Maybe I'll see if I can do some accents from where y'all are coming from. Oh no. Where's Mark? Mark's not here anymore. Oh no. But you want to know who is here? My buddy Caleb. He came back. And let me introduce him one more time because I totally botched his intro earlier. From the 3 Point Stance podcast, hosted by Caleb and Derwin. Welcome back, Caleb.
I can see now. I can see.
You guys, say hi to Caleb. Everybody, I want to hear you guys say hi, but virtually.
Hey.
Caleb, welcome back. Thank you for being here.
Of course.
What were we talking about? Before your computer?
Something quarterback wise. It was Kenny Pickett, Mitch Trubisky.
Oh, okay. So this is what we're talking about. We were talking about the depth and how important it is to have depth and how the 49ers set the standard in regards to depth in the quarterback position. Do you think that is setting the standard not just for the quarterback position, but how every other position should be around the NFL in regards to that depth?
So obviously, the NFL, after the 49ers situation in the playoffs with Purdy getting hurt, Josh Johnson getting hurt, and then, I'm pretty sure McCaffrey may have taken a snap at quarterback. They set that precedence where you have that emergency quarterback, and I think the Steelers knew that was going to happen, so they brought Mason back in the last few days. And in my opinion, with Kenny, Mitch, and Mason, I mean, that's a quality quarterback room, in my opinion, because we know Mason's won us games. Yes, he's lost us games too, and the same goes for Mitch. But Mitch could possibly be a starter on some teams. Not many teams, but some.
What teams are we talking about right now? I don't think anyone.
The Commanders. The Commanders
would not take Mitchell Trubisky. They made their mistake with Carson Wentz. They totally made their mistake. Didn't they even have Matt Ryan at one point, or am I losing it?
You're losing it. Yep.
Oh, they have not had the best luck when it comes to the quarterback situation. I totally agree. However, I don't think Mitch Trubisky has the best track record into becoming a starter around the NFL again. That's just all I have to say. And I have Bears fans that hate him just as much that tell me the same thing.
So it's funny you say that. Like where I work at in Colorado, I have 2 Bears fans that I work with. One was like, "Oh, you're gonna love Mitch Trubisky, this, and that," and there's a part of me that does love Mitch as a backup quarterback. And then, the more realistic Bears fan was like, "He's gonna have you like punching the air within the first quarter," and I think we experienced that. If it wasn't for the defense in that first game against Cincinnati last year, and granted, a lot of it was due to the offensive line, learning how to play with themselves, and we saw that in the back end of last year. And it's I'm excited to see that offensive line. Sorry, I'm going off topic now, but
you're fine. I'm excited too. I mean, that's a huge part of. That's a part. I would just say that for me, I'm so scarred. I feel like when somebody does something or does so many bad things, it takes over all of the good things they've done. So right now, all I see is red. Mitchell Trubisky, red. No, I don't see anything. Like, it's going to have to take some time for me to get over it. But right now, I'm just scarred from the things that he's done and almost done. Like that Ravens game last season, at the end of the season.
It cost us a playoff spot.
Yeah. So, I'm not going to sit here and talk about Mitch anymore. It's a sensitive subject. I'm really not going to get into it because it just hurts. It hurts. I just want to focus on Kenny being great, honestly.
Well, that's Kenny Guns. It's Kenny Guns. But no, I'll trickle back to that. I'm gonna poke your Mitch buttons right now. So I mean, like there was good things in that Ravens games, and there was a lot of bad. The good was he was taking chances to guys like George, and he wasn't doing that in his first 4 weeks. And I think that's good. That's going to be the benefit of having Mitch as a backup rather than the starter, because now he's not going to be afraid to lose his starting job. He's not going to be afraid to, I'd say Mitch is my backup.
So Pittsburgh Toddy likes Mitch better than Mason.
Yeah, I think Mitch brings more to the table than Mason does, but Mason, like Dee and I have talked about on our podcast, is yeah, I agree with Randy too. He's a great teammate. I think he showed that with, which is another thing we just talked about in this last episode. I actually shouted out Mitch for his, geez, come on. But yeah, I shouted out Mitch for being a great teammate, and he showed that by signing this extension and talking about how him and Kenny are now like best friends. And I think it's speaks to his character as a player and his willingness to do
Hey, listen. If you can get me back on the Mitch Trubisky QB2 train, then that's what I need. I feel like I just need a little push, like a little bit of encouragement. Like it's okay, Mackenzie. It's gonna be okay if we watch him on the field. No, it's not. Yes, it is.
But if you think, look at the games he did come in. He came in that Tampa Bay game. He won a
barely. I mean, not barely.
That was all of our games. When did we blow out a team last year? Don't worry, I'll wait.
Yeah. Listen, everything I'm seeing from last season is just like, yeah, I see a little bit of good that Mitch did, but the bad just.
And okay, so erase that Ravens game from your mind, and he wasn't in the Cleveland game week 3. Yeah, Kenny definitely likes Mitch. I think Mitch is going to be good for Kenny.
Good. I hope so.
Yeah, I do. I mean, he's been there. He's been to playoff games. He should have won a playoff game if it wasn't for the double doink. It's a good guy to have. I mean, Ben said it on his podcast that, he had a guy like Tommy Maddox, Brian St. Pierre, Charlie Batch. And think about that. He listed off 3 other quarterbacks. So we had 4 quarterbacks on our roster. And I'm pretty sure they all suited up.
At one point.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Like, Charlie Batch is a legend. He's probably the greatest backup quarterback of all time. I'll never forget that Ravens game where he started for Ben, and Ben was like, I don't know if he cried, but I cried. I don't know. I was like 12 or 13 at the time, but yeah, I was sad.
How old are you now? Wait,
28.
Oh, so you're only 2 years older than me. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm about to be 29 in November.
Okay, well, I'll be 27 in September. So, no, that's good because my memories of the Steelers only date back from like I didn't really get like fully like involved with the Steelers like really until probably like either like high school or college. But I was always watching the Steelers every weekend. It wasn't like me like picking up on things. Like I remember the Super Bowls, of course. I remember watching that. But no, that's a good point that you made because we need to think about that in the past. Like the Steelers needed to have great backup quarterbacks in the case that, again, something were to happen even in the middle of a Super Bowl. Not saying that it's going to happen or if it but these things happen and we have to be prepared.
I mean, look at the history of our backup quarterbacks. I mean, you could say Charlie Batch, he was a 2nd-round pick. Tommy Maddox was a 1st-round pick, but he had that stint with the Broncos where he was John Elway. There's more to that history that I don't know about, and I know he was an XFL MVP. Then we had Mike Vick, we had Byron Leftwich. I mean, those are all actually, other than Charlie Batch, those are all 1st-round picks. And look what we've transitioned to now. And like I said, it speaks volumes to Mitch's character, the willingness, because I think Okay, I'll revert back to I think he could start for a team where I think he could compete for a starting job with another team. He might lose that job, but out of 32 starting NFL quarterbacks, I would put him at 30. I think he's a top 3 backup quarterback, so I'd put him in that top 35.
I had a list of all the quarterbacks in front of me earlier today, and I'm pulling it up right now. And so right now on that list, it has 38 quarterbacks listed. And after Taylor Heineke at 32, it goes down to Trey Lance, Sam Howell, Desmond Ridder, Andy Dalton, Davis Mills, and Sam Ellinger. Where do you rank Mitch Trubisky in regards to Taylor Heineke, Sam Howell, Desmond Ridder, Andy Dalton, Davis Mills? Do you think he's better than any of them? All of them? Some of them?
I think I'm interested in seeing what Desmond Ridder can do. Because before we got Kenny, I think everybody was kind of on the Malik Willis train last year. But I really like Desmond Ridder's game. I think he can be a pretty good quarterback. So I'm not going to put him. I'll put him in a tie with Desmond Ridder for now until we actually see what Desmond Ridder can do. And I know he started the last few games of the season for Atlanta last year. Taylor Heineke. I think all the shock and awe with Taylor Heineke is that he was like Washington's Duck Hodges, and Washington hasn't seen a quarterback since Robert Griffin III post or pre-knee injury.
Kirk Cousins didn't count. Do you count Kirk Cousins?
That's how I feel about Kirk Cousins. He's good. It's just like,
yeah. I know exactly what you mean. There's no words to put it. It's like, he's cool, but it's like it's Kirk Cousins. It's like it's Kirk Cousins. No, that's a good point. I mean, Taylor Heineke has also been through a lot. He did come from the Carolina Panthers. He was with Ron Rivera down there at that time, and then he transitioned up, and he had a lot of good games that he did win and help the Commanders. Oh my God. Win. So I'm curious to see what happens with Taylor Heineke and his career. I'm curious. I feel like Taylor Heineke might be a little bit above Mitch, but what do you think? Do you think it could be vice versa?
That's another one that I think it could be a tie as far as like backup quarterback wise.
Yeah.
I swear I'm not going to continue doing ties.
It's okay. But I feel like overall, in general, the quarterbacks around the NFL, the competition is getting higher each year. So it doesn't cut it like the Matt Ryans, the Carson Wentz, the Andy Daltons. They're not gonna cut it as first string quarterbacks anymore with the new talent coming in my opinion, because we saw Matt Ryan do a lot of interesting things over his career, but then early in his career he was great, right? But now it's like, what are you doing? You're not really in that caliber of quarterbacks that really are getting elite, getting their teams to where they need to be. Do you agree with the fact that the competition is just not how it was 5 years ago even?
Like, are you saying it's better competition or worse competition?
Is getting high. I mean, with Joe Burrow now, Jalen Hurts, Trevor Lawrence even coming up, because the Jags have a better team now than they ever had in a really long time. Like, that's another team to be worried about in the AFC this year.
Yeah. What say? I know you say those quarterbacks again. Sorry, that you listed off just now.
The newer ones that I talked about.
You said Matt Ryan, Carson Wentz, and somebody else. Andy Dalton. Okay. So here's what I'll say about Mitch. Mitch fits this day and age of quarterback. He's got the athleticism, the wherewithal to be a quarterback. It just seems to not be there when he's the starter, other than those first few years in Chicago where, I mean, he was balling out. I mean, it wasn't like Patrick Mahomes like numbers or anything like that, but he was winning games.
Yeah, he had numbers.
Yeah.
And go on.
And for me, it's like, who knows what would have happened with Mitch if TJ never got hurt.
That is another very good question.
I think eventually at some point we still see Kenny come in because, I mean, we all saw the preseason as Steeler fans, and I'm like, it was close enough in that quarterback competition where you should have just started Kenny. But I think if we have TJ, we're beating Cleveland. We kind of got handled in that Cleveland game. I'll be honest. I don't know if Kenny would have necessarily made a difference or potentially TJ because we couldn't stop the run game for whatever reason in that game. New England, TJ would have made a huge difference in that game. We would have won. Shout out to Kella Witherspoon for that loss at halftime, and ultimately that 7-point swing. I think it led to more points. I don't know, that just sucked. And one of my best friends is a Patriots fan, so I don't talk to him anytime we play.
I wouldn't. This is a good comment. How about the talking head saying the Steelers will be last in the AFC North? I think that's the biggest joke.
Yeah. And fun fact, one of the hosts of the host of the Up and Adams show, I have been in contact with, and Kay Adams, she's a big advocate of that FanDuel pick with plus 650 for the Steelers to win the AFC North, which puts them last, well within last, if I may say that. But there is potential. She's shown interest in coming on to the 3 Point Stance podcast with myself and Derwin and talking about that.
That's exciting.
Yeah, that would
be interesting to hear.
Yeah, I'm excited to dig into her brain about that topic and many other Steelers topics. We really got to have our stuff together for that episode.
Oh, absolutely. You're good.
Yeah.
No, but still, it'll be so cool just to hear her take on everything and how she kind of goes about her mindset going behind everything that goes into it in regards to betting. Because I don't know a lot about betting, and it's not my area of expertise.
It's a scary thing.
I know.
Scary thing.
I don't allow my mind to cross over into that world because it has. Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna go into some comments. So some comments. All right. So we also have Peter King ranking the Steelers division in third place. I feel like they could battle with the Ravens for second. I don't. And what do you think about the Ravens right now? All this hype with OBJ now and Lamar. Like, are they going to be some duo, or are they just kind of be like sleeping? What do you think?
What Mike Tomlin say when OBJ signed with the Browns? Yeah. No, OBJ, like, he showed that he's still a guy in LA before his injury. I think he was well on his way to Super Bowl MVP before he tore his ACL in that game.
Oh yeah. 100%.
But if you look, like, I know it doesn't just go to the two games in the AFC North against the Ravens and Steelers. I'm happy they re-signed Lamar Jackson to that contract because Lamar doesn't have good games against us. The only games he has won against us, actually, it may be I'm trying to think. He's beaten Duck Hodges and Mason Rudolph because that was the game Mason got knocked out. And we still should have won that game. Juju fumbled.
What if no one got injured during these games? Because someone always gets injured during these games. What if everyone just stayed healthy?
That doesn't happen in any of these games. I mean, thank God Vontaze Burfict isn't a Bengal anymore because I guess TJ got hurt in the very little like one of the last 4 plays of the fourth quarter against Cincinnati, but there's no intentional injuries out there.
No.
I think we're better than Cleveland. I'm not a believer in Cleveland. I'll never be a believer in Cleveland.
If we can get our offense cooking, I can just see us taking the Bengals down. I really do.
Our defense, I am so excited to see Joey Porter lined up against Jamar Chase. So I know we were talking about it on the live draft show whenever we thought we were trading up for a cornerback. And then, I was like, oh, guys, wait, hold on. It might be Broderick Jones. And then Joey Porter just kept falling. He's a guy. I mean, you're a Penn State fan. And I know I've watched him play. I've watched him play against my Buckeyes. And right now, Ohio State's wide receiver. Yeah, he's a guy. His wingspan is like 84 inches or something like that. Yeah. Pittsburgh Toddy is right. Cleveland is a sewage treatment plant. It's the Clowns are. It's a tragedy that they have that playoff game over us right now. But I mean, just. Deshaun Watson's a coward. He blocked me on Twitter because I was going at him so much. But it's it's I don't know. I don't see it. I just don't see it there.
I don't see it there. What are the Browns? I mean, the Browns, they never know what they're doing. They I don't even know. Like, that's the one team that I kind of sit back and I think, like, you're not like a lot of us. You're different. You're your own little breed of a team because you ain't like any of the other teams. It's kind of like what the Lions used to be. Now the Lions are a team again. The Browns, I just don't consider them a team.
So, and it's funny you bring up the Lions because, like, if let's say Mike Tomlin has 2-3 years left or whatever, and if Dan Campbell was coming up in the coaching ranks, that is a guy that I would want.
Yes.
As a Steeler, he reminds me so much of Bill Cowher.
Dude, don't even get me started. I watched that whole entire Hard Knock season and I fell in love with Dan Campbell. I fell in love with him because of his passion. He is just such a dog, dude. He is what teams with the Lions needed.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I mean,
wow, that would be so cool. That would be so cool to think about.
Yeah. But like I said, I mean, the Steelers history right now is, I mean, we've had 3 coaches in the last 60 years, so there's not much of that history of hiring coaches to go back on. But when Tomlin's time comes, which I still the man looks like he could coach another 15 years.
Oh,
I mean, let's
I hope he does.
Yeah.
I hope he does.
Yeah. But I mean, if you look at the way Bill Cowher was never a head coach at any point in his career, he was an up and coming, or he was a top defense coordinator. Tomlin, top defense coordinator.
They like bringing those guys in and giving them a chance. That's what, yeah.
Yeah, and that's let's say Tomlin retires the next 2 years. A guy that I would look at is Eric Bieniemy. Or even go back to I know B-Flow has head coaching experience already. That's a guy you should bring.
Where is it? What
JPJ I think should be a day one starter. I don't know if he will be, but I think he should be. But we have quality DBs in that room. Steelers fan 2288 with Patrick Peterson, Levi Wallace, and JPJ.
Oh yeah, no, I what did you say you think they are? I was just looking up Eric Bieniemy. I said, is he a commander right now?
Yes, he's the coordinator over there.
Yeah. I think he's come on the Pat McAfee show a few times. I think I've heard him speak a few times.
I think so. And a lot of that, a lot of his prowess could be due to Andy Reid being the offensive guru he is.
Yeah.
But I mean, we'll find out this year.
We will.
Yes, I mean, there's no chemistry on the Browns. It's all about Deshaun. Yeah, I agree. I mean, Deshaun's posting he's posting TikToks now, and Browns fans made fun of Juju for that for years.
That's a funny comment. Oh God, what does this one say? Towards the end of the season, Jerome bet. Oh yeah, slowly healthy. He couldn't walk a couple of days after the game. Where did that come into it?
Did you? Are they having a conversation in the comments and you just picked a random comment?
Probably. He says that chip on his shoulder counts, and he's got. Well, if he's able to compete, if the coaches see him being able to compete and being a playmaker day one. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I think we still have a lot more work we need to do in this off season to really figure that out. I think in about we're coming up on June now. I think give in a whole month, I would like to recap in my mind, just seeing where we are now with all the hype around OTAs and kind of what we've seen from the guys over the past month, because they got a lot of work to do. But I think we can get in the right position for when the season starts.
Yeah, I mean, like speaking to the DB room, I mean, it's okay if Joey doesn't start day one.
Yeah.
I mean, there's guys in that DB room now. Levi Wallace proved he was worth what we gave him last year. I really like Levi Wallace. Obviously, Patrick Peterson's a Hall of Famer who can move around. Yeah, he's a great teacher as well. And we picked up Chandon Sullivan, who's a great slot corner. Yeah, and I was literally about to talk about him. Him and Joey are like identical, like in every aspect of their game. Corey Trice was expected to be a 4th round pick. He had some injuries where he slid to the 7th round. And I mean, the Steelers have shown their cards as far as what they're looking for in DBs now, and that's big, physical, and fast guys. Joey ran a 4.46, I believe. That's not slow by any means, and he plays faster than that. His wingspan it alleviates so much. And there might be some people in here who talk about his interception numbers or whatever, but he's always on the ball. So I mean, he led college football in pass breakups, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not 100% sure on that, but he was definitely top 5 in that category. So I mean, he's there. It's just a matter of time before the ball starts falling into his hands and everything like that. And he'll get tested when he starts. I see Wallace starting. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I see a scenario where, because they've been open to Pat Pete playing multiple positions in the defensive backfield. So I could see a scenario where you see Pat Pete in the slot and you got Joey and Levi on the outsides. And yeah, if Corey pans out and he ends up being a guy, yeah, it's going to be good. I mean, it'll be hard for any really receiver room to compete with that.
And it makes me super excited because, listen, we all know that it's going to be a different team next season, right? But I don't think we understand of what we're making right now, what we're putting together is something that we may have never seen from a Pittsburgh Steelers team before. Every team, every era has its own thing to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is a new era of Pittsburgh Steelers football that we have never seen before. And I think that we are in for something really, really exciting over the next few years. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, the offensively, I think with what we have there, and if Broderick Jones is who we want him to be, that could be a top 5 offensive line in the NFL. And that being said, if they are top 5 offensive line in the NFL this year, Najee could lead the league in rushing. And then, I mean, Kenny's obviously a guy. He's the leader of that team.
George Pickens is I think George Pickens is one of the best receivers in the NFL, personally.
Talent-wise, yeah. Once he gets it, once everything comes together and he's special. And then having Allen Robinson in that room and I mean, even Deontay too. Deontay's a really great leader in that receiver room. But then you add Allen Robinson to that mix. If you say George can get to what Deontay Johnson is as a route runner, that's going to be special. And I'm not saying Deontay Johnson's top 5 route runner in the NFL, and I don't care what anybody says. I will die on that hill. If George Pickens can get to a top 15, top 20 route runner in the NFL, he's going to be a top 5 receiver in the NFL, just based off of his play style and his ability.
I agree, and I can't wait any longer for the season to start. I feel like it's been It's been what, almost 6 months? It's been what, 5 months since we've seen the Steelers play last?
Yeah. The beginning of January.
Yeah. So it's been a long time coming, but we are coming down in the home stretch. Only 3 more months. Oh God, 3 more months. June, July, oh God, 3 more months of speculation for the season.
I will say this: don't sleep on Calvin Austin.
Oh no, I completely forgot. He is looking very mobile. I saw the videos on Twitter of him just moving around, and he's one that we're not going to forget. I'm really excited for that guy. I really am. He didn't get to do anything for us yet. Come on now, let's hype the guy up, right? Let's see some Calvin Austin contribute this season.
Yeah, it's like he's got a lot of track speed. And if you look at him coming to the draft last year and looking at his routes and who Sauce Gardner said was the toughest receiver he guarded in college, it was Calvin Austin. And I think Calvin Austin was a top 5 route runner in his draft class last year.
Well, that is it. That is something I didn't know because Sauce is with the Jets now, right? And he's supposed to be, wow.
So the big thing with Sauce Gardner was he didn't allow a touchdown his entire college career or whatever. He would have allowed one on Calvin Austin if he didn't hold him on the play. There was a penalty called on the play, but Calvin definitely gave Sauce that sauce on that route.
Oh yeah. That's good. Hey, that's optimistic. That right there is optimistic. I love that. That's something I didn't know, and I'm gonna remember that because that is valuable information when people want to sleep on Calvin Austin. Be like, hey, remember this?
Yeah, hopefully they continue to sleep on him. We have a deep threat.
We'll continue to show them.
Yeah. It's every year with us,
Oh yeah, but this year in particular, I think we are getting slept on the most, especially because people just don't really know what we're cooking. I think they just don't know, and it's fine. We don't want them to know.
Which is it's crazy, especially after last year going through TJ Watt being hurt and then battling back to go 9-8, and now like we had I want to say the toughest schedule last year. Ranked wise when it first came out. And now we have the 25th, and we got a lot of rookie quarterbacks on that schedule. We got a lot of teams that are just, the Packers have Jordan Love now. There's a lot of winnable games. I see 12 and 5, 13 and 4.
We just got honestly for me, if we can get through the 49ers, then I will be fine. Like I will be happy in the sense of like the start of the season looking good. But the 49ers also have a pretty stacked team, not gonna lie, with Samuel, Christian McCaffrey. I hope our defense is preparing for that offense because they have a darn good offense, but so do we, and we have a darn good defense, and so do they. But still, I think it'll be a good game. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm excited for that game. That's actually one of the games Darwin and I are looking at possibly going to this year.
You're in Colorado, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's out in Alabama right now with the USFL Stallions. But yeah, that's a game that it's a week 1 game, and like the history of our week 1 games are pretty great. Our defense comes out on all cylinders. Because you look at the year before last, it was Buffalo week 1, and we handled them in that game. And if you looked at it 2 years from now, it's like, oh, there's no way they did that. No, yeah, they destroyed Josh Allen last year. Burrow threw 4 interceptions, 5 interceptions, something like that.
I think so. Let me see. But let me see. I don't remember. I'm just looking at what he said right here. This is a good point. I wanted to talk about Darnell Washington real quick.
His nickname is Six Offensive Lineman.
Because he's so big. He's 6'7", right?
Yeah, he's 6'7", 270. I mean, literally, you go to his Instagram page, he has his nickname as the Sixth Offensive Lineman. And guess who he was next to for his entire college career, or at least last year, because I think Broderick Jones came in starting the lineup last year, not the year before. But him and Broderick already have that continuity. And,
oh yeah, we have some dogs on our offense. Everyone was talking about how the Eagles have some dogs. We had dogs too. We got a lot of Georgia dogs, and the ones that played on offense together.
Yeah, we just got the ones on offense. They got the ones on defense. Yeah.
They got Jalen Carter,
Jordan
Davis,
Ringo.
And, yeah.
Nolan Smith. Cool. Did they get Nolan Smith too?
If we played the Eagles, that would be a cool matchup.
Yeah, hopefully not as cool as last year's because that was rough.
Yeah, with a better team,
for
sure. But all right, Caleb, I'm gonna wrap this up.
Yeah, this sounds good to me.
Thank you so much for joining me. I love having people on to talk to. It's like I'm an only child talking by myself, and then my mom says, "Come on, and we can talk the same thing."
It's so much more fun having somebody to because I've tried to do it by myself before, and I'm just like,
yeah,
I'll wait for comments to come in on the live stream. I'm like, come on, guys, comment.
We got a pretty good chat, and that's why I'm able to do this every week. Is because regardless if I have people on or not, I still got the chat to talk to. There's always something going on, and I'm very thankful for. So thank you guys, everybody, for being here every single week. I appreciate you all so much. You know, I love talking about the Steelers. It makes me so happy. And thank you, Caleb, again for coming on. Tell us again where we can catch your podcast.
On the Steelers Nation multimedia page on YouTube. And also, we just created a new 3-Point Stance Instagram page today. So make sure you guys go follow that. It's at 3-Point_Stance on Instagram. We're excited to bring more and more content to you guys. And hopefully for those of you who haven't seen the show that watch Makenzie show, you guys come tune in. Our newest episode will be released tomorrow, and then the next coming weeks we'll have Wesley Saunders, former Steelers tight end, and Bo Scarborough, former Alabama running back, and fingers crossed, Kay Adams, former host of Good Morning Football.
Wow. Now the host of Up and Adams on FanDuel, right?
Yes.
Love that for you. Well, you have things cooking. So good luck with everything, and maybe we can have you back on in the future. I loved having you on, so thank you again.
Yes, of course. I would love to be back.
All right, y'all. Well, I'm going to say goodbye, everybody. Have a great rest of your day, Steeler Nation. It was great to have everybody here. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Have a great rest of your day. Bye, y'all.